Hello, you guys. I want to apologize because, let me just start off apologizing because, you guys, I have logged into every device that I have except for StreamYard again, and YouTube just keeps shutting down. So, unless I try to struggle with the live through StreamYard, pre-recorded is my only option, and I need to get my face done because I need to leave out the house and go do what I need to do and go to the store. So, I'm going to just do a pre-recorded video. I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit about our last live that we were on. I'm going to eat my chips. I have my cup of water, ice and stuff or whatever. And I'm just going to get this face done, okay? Well, I wiped off whatever I had on my face, okay? You guys, I'm just going to say this. When I got off live, you know, I was able to see messages that I was getting during the live. And that sort of thing. You guys, my personality, I don't have this strong personality, okay? I don't have this aggressive, and I really don't want to offend anybody. I just don't have this, I don't know. Let me just speak. My personality is pretty much laid back, chilling, whatever. Like, I don't usually get too excited about anything, okay? Like, and it's not on purpose. It's not, it's just not on purpose. It's just the way that I am, okay? I'm pretty much not overly happy a lot. I'm not overly sad. I'm just pretty much just like blah. My personality is kind of like blah. Like, as far as like showing emotions and things like that. You know, I'm sensitive sometimes, you know, whatever. And then sometimes I just don't really care that much. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it. I never really have been able to explain it very well. But it's just the way that I am, okay? You know, the people in my life, my kids, my mother, like, my dad, like, everybody in my life, they pretty much have always, like, said, like, you know, you just don't, like, usually my feedback or, like, the way I react to things is not how other people usually would react to things. And I don't know. You know, I try to say all the time that I love you guys and the people who support me. I appreciate you so very much. And, you know, because you guys don't have to, you know. I know, like, when you do support and care about a person, you know, things can, you can get upset when you hear things and people are saying ugly things about that person or doing ugly things to them and stuff like that, you know, just depending on what the situation is. And I know that can, how that can be, you know, and I appreciate you guys for that. You know, I have your back, you guys' back the same way. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I did go back and I saw some of the comments. I never really go back and go look at the chat or whatever. I never go back and look at the videos pretty much. You know, once it's there, it's just there. And so, you know, what I saw in the chat is what it was. You know, I just don't really take a lot of this stuff so seriously because I don't really care about it that much. It's not helping me in my real life. It's not hurting me in my real life. If you guys notice, YouTube has not affected me one way or the other since I've started. It hasn't made me any better. It hasn't made me any worse. I'm even keel pretty much for the most part. Um, you know, and that's just what I feel about it. I don't involve myself too much on, so much. I don't really get involved that much. So when people talk about infiltration and takeovers and switching the narrative and all of that kind of stuff, I like to come on. I wanted to have a conversation. I enjoyed Lady Snoop's live this morning, or her presentation. I thought she did a good job. I thought it was informative. It showed me things that I hadn't seen. And I thought it was something to talk about because it is dealing with the platform that we're all a part of, and I just felt like it was good to have a conversation about it. In the midst of having that conversation, I had brought up other people, kind of comparing other situations to the one that Lady Snoop was speaking about, and the people involved in those situations that I was speaking about, they popped in the chat, and then they popped on the StreamYard and they said what they had to say in response to my opinion about situations they were involved in. And that's all it was to me. That's all it was to me. I just feel like if anybody wasn't interested in that or didn't want to hear what they had to say or anything like that, like, nobody is forced to be here. Nobody is forced to watch or anything like that, or be a part of something on YouTube. It's totally voluntary. And I'm just saying that to say, if but I am a person about openness. I do allow people to speak and to, if I say something about a person, I mention you in something, and that person decides to pop in and respond to what I said, I'm open to that. If there's people that don't want to hear that, I can understand it, but at the same time, honestly, it's not really fair. It's not. I don't feel like it's fair for me to speak on things, and then when the person shows up to respond, I just shut them out and just say, no, fuck that, I don't want to hear what you got to say, regardless of the reason that they showed up. I don't, whether if it's that somebody was sent here, or whether they don't want me to continue with the conversation I was having, or whether if they were just there because their name was called and they chose to respond. Whatever the reason, I'm open to letting a person respond when I spoke their name. Okay? And I can understand, a person has said a whole lot of ugly things about me. And it's like, who cares what they got to say, or why are they even here, or anything like that. And it's just like, all of those are valid points. But at the same time, I spoke their name and they showed up. And so in that case, yes, I'm going to let a person speak and say what they got to say. Now, let me say this. In the case of what just happened, if we're just speaking about just solely this situation that just happened, I feel like, it hurt them more than it helped. Because they didn't prove otherwise. They didn't prove my point to be invalid. They didn't prove my opinion to be wrong. Okay, so I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that they showed up regardless of the reason, because all they showed was they didn't have any comeback. And they can't handle what they dish out. That's all I saw. Anybody who saw more than that or outside of that, or just felt like It just shouldn't have happened at all, period. I get it. But I just feel like fair is fair, and that's just what it is. Um, you know, I wasn't thrown off. I wasn't taken off of my point. I allowed the people that popped in to say what they had to say and, whatever. And then I was getting right back to what I was saying before I came on. But yeah, like I kind of just got thrown off. It wasn't the guest who threw me off. It was my chat who threw me off. It was like just seeing all of that in the chat. It was just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Can I just run my channel, please? Like, can I just, like have a moment or whatever where people can speak? I mean, that's just what I feel like. I was just like, geez, like, and that's just what I felt like. So it wasn't, it was just so crazy to me. I wish I didn't even look at the chat, because to me it was like in the chat was saying, they're taking you off topic. They're taking you off topic. They're throwing you off. Well, nah, it was the chat that threw me off. Once it was all said and done, it was the chat that threw me off. I've always said that I do things a certain way for a reason. I've always said I do certain things for a reason. I always say that I am not going to steer anybody wrong or make anybody look stupid. And it was just that in that moment, the opportunity came. The people who I was speaking about chose to pop on. They validated my whole point. What some extras said, yeah, okay, that's fine. But my point was validated. My opinion was validated. And that's all that I cared about. So when I say I do certain things for a reason, the way I do them, sometimes I just wish people would just let me do that. Because when you just act in the moment or you just act out of emotion, sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot. I'm not about shutting nobody down, because if I speak your name, I can damn sure re-say what I said. Okay, I don't have no problem with repeating myself. I don't have no problem with none of that. I don't have no problem with repeating anything that I said about a person. I don't have any problem with, confronting a person or having a conversation with the person about things that were said back and forth. So I don't care if we don't get along. You could have said the most ugliest, grimiest stuff, and after the live, I heard some ugly, grimy things that were said, and that's okay. I can still sit there and have a conversation and hear your side and give mine. I just don't, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that's going to make their self look crazy. And that's exactly what happened. So sometimes I just wish that, even if it takes the long route, even if it's not like quick and kind of like a right now situation type of thing, like you're not getting those instant results, or you're not immediately seeing like what it is that we're trying to get at. I just wish that, my judgment would be trusted a little bit more when it comes to how I handle things. It was almost kind of like the same situation when I fell out with a certain content creator, YouTuber, whatever. When I fell out with a certain person on here, it was just like, even to this day, people say, oh, I wish oh, while it was going on, oh, I just kept saying, oh, I just wish you would just see. I just wish you would just see. Well, I did see, but that's not for me to discuss with nobody. Because a lot of times when you're discussing this with the person, it's going to go to this person and that person, that person. I'd rather just handle things on my own, just me. I know what's going on in my head. I know what I'm trying to do, and I know what results I'm trying to get. And I'm pretty good at that. And so, you know, when it's time, it's time. And sometimes, you know, you can't act out of emotion and you can't just dive right in. I mean, you can, but that's just not the way I work. Usually, I don't mind going the long route. I don't mind, you know, trusting the process and letting things take their course. I don't mind that because it usually works out in my favor that way. You know, it usually works out in my favor that way. You know, when I'm talking about the falling outs, dealing with people, whether, you know, my job situation, the situation that's going on with me and all of that stuff. All of that. Things have a process, okay? And it's not always going to happen exactly when you want things to happen. That's just the way, you know, that's just the way of life, you know. And a lot of times when you just rush into stuff and you just are trying to force, or, you know, you just act too soon, then you end up shooting yourself in the foot. And I'm just not about that. I'm not about that. I've done it. I've been there and I've learned my lesson. And I would rather just take things slow. I would rather let things, you know, take their course. And when it's time, it's time. And that's just how I am, you know. And so you know, I appreciate everybody. For those of you who catch flack and get singled out for defending me, I am very sorry for that. I'm not everywhere, so I don't see it. I'm not everywhere, so I don't see it. My channel is about speaking about other people's situations. Just situations that we see on YouTube, period. It's always been about that. It's pretty much, it didn't, you know, it's not, you know, I'm not the one who has most of the beef. So a lot of times I'm not even going to be speaking about mine, and I'm not even trying to be involved in a lot of the beef anymore. So a lot of conversations aren't going to be about me. And, you know, I can just, you know, I don't mind disagreeing with, or people who disagree with the way that I choose to do things. And I can also understand if, you know, it's just like, look, you know, I would just rather not be associated because, you know, this isn't what I stand for. If we just stand for different things, or if we're just too different and, you know, we just don't have the same common goal in mind, you know, I can understand why people choose to separate or some things like that, or choose to not support anymore, because, you know, we've seen that happen. And that's fine. You know, I understand that. So, you know, whatever people choose is what they choose, and I'm okay with it either way. You know, and, you know, I don't mind a person disagreeing, but I never want anybody to feel like, you know, defending me or supporting me is all for nothing. Or, you know, yeah, I don't ever want a person to feel bad for supporting me. And so if you feel bad for supporting me, or you just feel like, you know, it's just not, for you, I understand that. I understand that. Yeah. I understand that, you know. I just want everybody to do what they like to do. I just want this platform to be something that I don't want it to be something that pisses you off or makes you feel a way or, you know, brings you down and up. That's not, because I don't want it to be that. I don't let it be that for me. So I don't want it to be like that for anybody else. You know, I don't come on YouTube to feel bad. You know, life can do that. I don't want to come on here to feel bad. I don't want to come on here to get frustrated or to, you know, any of that. I just want to come on, have a good time. You know, when I cuss a bitch out, it's to have fun. That's fun for me. That's a good time. You know, that's a good time. Y'all, these brows are like irritating as fuck today. I just don't know what's going on with them. I'm gonna have to like trim these hairs, and I've been waiting because I wanted to do a video doing that, so I'm gonna have to do that tonight. Alright, this gonna have to be good because we already 20 minutes in, and fuck these brows. So anyway, you guys, you know, I love you guys and I appreciate everything you guys do, and it's frustrating. It can be frustrating when you got a person like lying right in your face, or, you know, they feel like they're going to get a one-up on you and this, and that, but you let people just bury themselves, okay? You let people bury themselves at the end of the day. I really wanted to come live because the whole point in coming live was to let you guys listen to something, because, you know, Bama Girl did say that, you know, basically I was upset with her for things her chat said, and, you know, or, you know, basically she didn't say things that she said now. And so, of course, some things came up where it wasn't her chat. It was her who brought it up, who said what she needed to say and everything. It didn't have nothing to do with the chat, okay? They chimed in once she brought it up, but it was her that brought it up. And so, but on this pre-recorded video, I don't want anything getting flagged or anything like that, so it will have to be on the live when we listen in. And so we'll do that. We'll do a, whenever YouTube stops kicking me off, we'll do a live. Uh-oh. The light is moving. The light said, bitch, I'm sick of this. So anyway, y'all, I don't know. I'm kind of irritated because I'm not feeling my best, but also, you know, I just really wish people would, you know, trust my judgment. You know, just because I'm not like reactive like right away or whatever, or I don't say things right away, doesn't mean that I'm not like engaged, because I'm definitely engaged, you know, and seeing things, you know. I just let things play out for themselves, and I don't know how many times I gotta say that, because I say it all the time. All the time I say that. I let things play out for themselves, and they always do. But sometimes they not gonna play out when we want them to. Sometimes we be sitting there because we be seeing shit, or whatever, and we just be like waiting for whatever to happen, and it's not happening fast enough for us. But I mean, you have to learn patience, okay? You have to learn how to sit back and let shit take its course. You know, I mean, that's just how I am. I'd rather have stuff take its course because it usually works out in my favor. And so yeah, so I feel like it was a good thing that the live happened the way it happened. You know, I feel like it did what it was supposed to do. My bad, y'all. I feel like it did what it was supposed to do, you know. Um, and it may have proven that, you know, somebody might be a little bit more tipsy than what they be thinking. Because if you don't be remembering what's going on your life or whatever, then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. That's pretty much all I really got to say about that. You know. You know, at the end of the day, I just try to treat people the way I want to be treated, regardless of what they feel about me, because what a person feels about me or how they treat me ain't got shit to do with me. That all got everything to do with themselves. Okay, ain't nobody gonna fuck up my good karma, or you know, I'm not gonna compromise my character to stoop down to another bitch level. And that's just what it is. I'm just not gonna do it. You know, I don't have to do all of that. I ain't doing all of that. Give a bitch a lot of extra for what? I'm not giving nobody no more than what they give me. You know, you don't let a bitch get more from you than you getting from them. Don't do it. You know, you too good for that. You are too good. I'm gonna tell you, this thing on $10 palette by Profusion is good, okay? Look on Walmart's website. It's a lot of neutrals, and you know, it's good like for neutrals in fall. It's a nice warm palette. Oranges, yellow, browns. The shimmers ain't too good, but the mattes really are nice. They blend well, like you would never think this palette was $10. Yep. Just mixing a little bit of yellow on that outer edge, just to yeah, y'all. It's all tore up, y'all. But It's all tore up, but I love it. $10, y'all. So how many shades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For 21 shades. So can't beat it. Yeah, these shimmers ain't shit though. I know what shimmer I'm gonna use. I know what I'm gonna use. My good old Tarte chrome paints. These Tarte chrome paints, y'all, are so nice. Like, you just get these little few pots of shimmer. Like, it's just beautiful. I mean, don't nothing shine like it, okay? Don't nothing shine like it. Beautiful. It does have some fallout though. Let me say that. That fallout ain't no joke. So you could use your finger to kind of like, you know, prevent the fallout. Or you just use a nice flat brush. And I'm not doing a cut crease, but I'm kind of carving it out just a little bit with the brush. You just want to kind of like go into your crease and pat that shade. Now, if you put this on with your finger, it'll even give you more shimmer than this, okay? So this is just with the brush. But you go in with your finger and it'll be like pow. But I'm not trying to do too much, so this is good enough. And I got like some, if you see like those sparklies, I got some fallout. Yeah, I don't know why I don't never put the powder under my eyes to catch the fallout, but I always miss that step. So I hope everybody is doing well, y'all. I hope I'm just going in the sienna palette with the lightest shimmer shade they got and just using that as my inner corner highlight. But yeah, y'all, I hope everybody is doing well. I'm so sorry to hear about Burl. You guys, Burl Robinson, she has a channel. You can go over to her page and show her some love. She just lost her mama this morning due to coronavirus. Her mama was in a nursing home. So you guys, that's what I mean. It'd be like way more important shit. You know what I'm saying? And not to say like some of this stuff ain't important, because like I said, like, it's worth talking about, and I don't mind cussing the bitch out, you know what I'm saying, or talking some shit, especially to get away from, like, we hear about what's going on now. We hear about it all the time, like, you know, so it's like some of us want to get our mind off of it and, you know, and sit up here and talk about the mess and stuff helps, but to really just be so serious with this stuff and be so like invested and pissed off, and I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, ain't nobody gonna get all of that out of me. Fuck these hoes. Period. Like, you know, they feel like they are so much more important, than everybody else, and everybody's just so pressed and this and that, you know, yet their whole channels are based off of other people. Like, your whole channel is based off of other people and what other people got going on. None of it had nothing to do with you at first, but you chose to sit up here and speak about shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. you know. Chose to make enemies that you didn't have on the behalf of somebody else. And that's okay, because you grown. If that's what you choose, if that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. You feel me? But at the end of the day, you got to be careful when you making enemies on behalf of somebody else. You don't gotta hear it now if you don't want to, or believe it now if you don't want to, but just remember in the future that was stated, that was said. Okay. Got that fallout off. Um, I got that fallout off. I'm gonna put a little bit of eye cream. Just a little touch. Okay, just a little touch. Since I just wiped whatever I had off, I just want to add a little bit. Okay. And I'm just going to add a little bit. Well, here, let me just do this. I'm just going to do the spray for my hydration. Kind of like use that as my moisturizer. And I'm going to use my Pores No More Luminizing Primer by Dr. Brandt. This used to be one of my faves, and I've kind of gotten away from using it, but we are back to using this. The Dr. Brandt Pores No More line is really good. It's like a, you know, a skincare and makeup in one, kind of like. And it really does do a good job at minimizing the look of the pores. Okay. I have my Dr. Brandt Pores No More 5-in-1 complexion stick that I can't find anymore. I need a dupe for this one, y'all. I'm really going to be on the hunt for a dupe for this. I'm going to mix this with some of this, which is my It Cosmetics CC cream in the shade medium, and I'll just put a couple dots, just a tiny bit of product. You see, I already been digging in there, so I'm just gonna like dig my nail in, and I kind of just go like this, because if I use like a brush or a sponge, the product, some of the product is gonna go in the, you know, it's gonna stay in the, I'm gonna lose the product, let me say that, into the sponge, especially, or the brush, and I want all the product that I can get. Okay. All right. And we're just gonna take a brush and we're gonna spread this product around before we go over it with a sponge. Uh-oh. So yeah, you guys, and that's what I mean, like, You know, we have channels based on that are built based on their support all on somebody else, and you know they are making all these enemies all in the name of somebody that they support, and it's somebody that they support that does people wrong. It's not like it's somebody that they support that is like a good person, or you know just you know is whatever people come for no reason or whatever. No, it's like this person constantly comes after people, does wrong things to people, is always contradicting herself, himself, you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, there's always some selective outrage and, you know, hypocrisy surrounding these people. And that's a whole lot of different. That's what makes a whole lot of difference when you choose to go and support these people or whatever, and you choose to be like one of their watchdogs, and then you have these enemies that you probably wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to do just a tiny bit of concealer, just not a lot, okay? I'm just going to drag it down to where I have my little, whatever those are called right there. And so we're just a thin layer, okay? And then I'm just going to blend it over with this little brush that's like perfect for the under eye. Shoot, where'd it go? Here it go. This brush is so perfect. You see how it's slanted and it's like perfect to go under the under eye. But yeah, you know, and that's why I also said, you know, anybody who supports me, you know, I don't want you guys making enemies, you know, of people supporting me. Especially, you know, if it's people that you like out here that you don't really see a problem with, I happen to have a problem with them, or I may be having something going on with them or whatever. You know, you don't have to put yourself on the line in my name, you know. You don't have to do that. You know, you should be able to go around freely without being looked at as, oh, that's Ask April, you know, whatever, you know, and getting blocked or getting attacked in the chats or anything like that, you know. And that's part of the reason with, especially when you moderate, just not when you just support a person in the chat, but when you moderate for somebody, because people will come for you like, you're such and such as moderator, and it's just like, okay, and you know, so you know, I just want you guys to know that whatever you guys choose to do, I'm good with it. Whatever you guys choose to do, I'm good with it. Alright. Probably gonna end up using that again. Y'all know I put inner corner highlight on like, I don't know how many times. Alright, so we're just gonna go in with some powder. This is my Pretty Vulgar translucent setting powder, and we got a little dry beauty blender. And we're gonna go under the eye and set that concealer that we just laid down. Very thin layer, you know, just enough just to pat it into the skin. Just make sure that concealer don't go nowhere. Yeah, guys, I don't know, you guys. I know this video quality is probably trash. Trash. There we go. Sheesh. I don't know how that was looking that whole time. All right. So, yeah, we got like that. Okay. All right. So, we got that. Let me just put this over here so then I can see better. That's perfect. Okay, cool. All right. So we got that, and then we're gonna use our Becca Hydra Mist powder, which is awesome. Shout out to my Miss O for sending me this, because I still haven't found mine. I love this powder, you guys. It's like a powder made out of 50% water. Like, ain't science something else? All right, so we are just gonna just dip this brush in just a tiny, you know, we just like lightly touch it, okay? And then you just tap it off like that. But even when you're placing it, you just want to place it lightly across the face, because especially when you're dealing with a dense brush, you know that product is all the way down in that brush. And we're just going to go back over that neck. We're going to go back over the face, and you just kind of want to pat and press. And then once you have the powder on, then you can like kind of sweep across. And still kind of patting, because you want the powder in the skin. You don't want it to just be sitting up on top. Okay. And that's it. Not a whole lot of product, y'all. Not a whole lot. Just enough. Alright, so we got that. Sorry, I got my hair under this bonnet. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow so far. I'm going to go in with some of this brown liquid liner by CoverGirl. And it is just their dark brown. And I'm just going to line my and I love this liner. Like, you see how easy it is. It's just like, just whoop. It is a wet liner though, so make sure you scrape off the excess. And then also, like, if you're making a wing, make sure that when you draw the wing, you don't automatically close your eye back or open your eye back up or whatever. Just like give it a sec to set. Because that's the last thing you want, is to have like a glob of something in the corners of your eye, okay? And we're just gonna go in with some bronzer. Ooh, where you at? Where you at? Oh, I got a peachy blush. We got a little peachy. Where you at? Is that it? That's it. Our little Too Faced peachy bronzer. And I'm going to use a big brush because I really want to just do a quick bronze. So we're going to do, well, we'll just go with this one. It's kind of like medium size, kind of fluffy. You just want to swirl it around in your bronzer, and then you want to pull your hair back, you know, and just kind of go across your hairline and the top part of your forehead. You know, I'm going to swirl back into the product. And, you know, just go along your hairline, because you don't really want to see that light part from your hair. And down the middle, and then across your jawline, starting from the back of your ear. Okay. And then you're just going to just continue around the face. And basically what you're doing is you are, you know, like, you kind of want to frame your face with the bronzer. It's almost like how if you were outside in the sun and you came back in the house and you see you got a little bit of a tan, and you see like how where the sun hits your face, you know, it's not going to get the whole face all the time evenly. It's just going to get like certain parts of your face. So yeah, so that's kind of what you're doing. Make sure you get that chin. Alright, and then you just want to kind of go cut into those cheeks a little bit. Kind of just define your cheek area. Okay, and that's like you're going from like the bottom of your earlobe and down down your cheek a little bit, okay? And then you're going to go on the sides of your nose, huh?
Is there any great clips of like hairstyle people open?
Uh-uh. You're going to go on the sides of your nose. Okay, that's more of like a contour, not the bronze, like, because of course you would, you know, the sun would hit on top of your nose, not necessarily the sides, but putting the bronzer on the sides of your nose kind of gives you a sharper nose. And yeah. All right, so we got like a little peachy blush. This is the Too Faced little mini peachy. Well, this is the Fruity Tooty collection, and it's the apricot blush and highlighter. So we're just gonna take a little brush, small enough to fit into that blush, because if you don't mind like a shiny blush or like a luminizing blush, then that's fine. But I like more matte blushes. You know, I like my blush, and my highlight. So, but you can like mix these two together, or, you know, if you just dip your brush in and it's a bigger brush and you get the highlight, it's okay. It's whatever you want. It's makeup, so you can mix it up how you like. And this is kind of like, you know, apricot, little peachy orangey situation. That'll go with this warmer eye look. And I'm kind of just blending that into my cheeks. And then I'm going to take like another little, kind of like not too fluffy, but I'm going to dip that into that highlight. Now this highlight is a little bit dark for me, but I'm just going to put this on, and then I'm going to put like a lighter one over it. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we have our Too Faced Peach Frost highlight, and this is kind of like a cream to powder formula. So I'm just going to pat my finger into this and kind of go over that highlight that I just added. And yeah, this is way lighter, so, and you see that? Kind of like mixing in a little bit. Okay. All right, you guys, we have our Morphe mattifying setting spray, which I love, you guys. Just a quick review on this. This is amazing. The sprayer will spray like you and another face, okay? You don't need a lot. And I'm talking about matte. I'm talking about, I love it because it mattifies everything, but then you see your highlight peeking through. You know what I'm saying? So it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Like, you have your highlight. My bad, y'all. You have your highlight. That is where it's supposed to be. But everything else is just matte. And so I love it. It has a light, fresh scent. Alright, so we're going to put on just a little bit of mascara. We're kind of winding into our time where the video will cut off, so I'm going to hurry up because, yeah, I'm not washing my face off this time, okay? It's been a hell of a day trying to get some makeup on this mug. But yeah, I would definitely try to come back on live after I come back from the store, you guys, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just really busy right now. You know, it's a busy time and a lot of people are live. Maybe that's why is kicking off. That could be, very well could be, the reason. Let me see here. Uh-oh. I wanted my little brown liner, but I'm just going to go ahead and go black since that's what I have right here. Yeah. All right. All right, so we got our Marc Jacobs liner on. We got our Ardell Wispies that we're gonna put a little tad bit of glue on and pop these on our eyes, and then we're gonna be good to go, y'all. So I hope you enjoy this look. I mean, it's basic. We're going to the store, the grocery store. I can't stand how Ardell attaches their lashes. I just think it's just too much glue. I don't like it. All right, so where is my glue? Under the chips. Just look under the snacks, y'all. Just look under the snacks and you're going to find your stuff. All right, so yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this little simple look. All right, I'm just going to throw my hair up in a bun. Y'all be able to see that later. You know. All right. We got one on. We got one on, y'all. Ooh. Y'all, I'm trying to hurry up. You don't never want to start rushing because that's when mistakes are made. But you don't want to push the glue up too much, y'all. You just want to push it up just enough to where it's like an air bubble. And you can just drag the lash through the bubble. Because you do not want too much glue, you know. You don't want the glue going everywhere. Which I have done many a times, okay? Like glue be everywhere. Okay. So that is it, y'all. We have on our lashes.
Did those masks come?
They're not gonna come.
Well, when you order stuff, it's not gonna come right now?
They're only sending them to health officials right now. Okay, you guys, this is it. I'm gonna pop on a little, let me pop on a little something on my lip. Little matte lip. You can put like a little gloss over this. You can do what you like. I'm trying to find a gloss, but I think the one I want is in my purse. So we are just going to let this be. So this is it, y'all. All right, y'all, this is it. Okay, I love y'all. Hope y'all have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. I hope y'all heard what I was saying and understand it, and I hope nobody is offended and we're all good on anything. If anybody wants to reach out and talk to me, you know, we can do that. And other than that, I will try to come on later on actual live where we can converse back and forth. Bye bye.